it seems to me that after some sort of tragedy, people began to maybe think, well, this might not be the right direction. Quick, let's fix it type of deal. Something goes wrong in what they were thinking, and they think, well, we can fix it now. And when you're running a business, a ministry, or whatever it is that you're doing, a family, it's not that simple because there are other souls involved. And there's this thing called timing. Because we operate the way we operate, and timing is involved, and other people are involved. I think what happens, though, when we are transitioning, we don't take other people's souls in mind. We don't think about other people. We just think, well, messed up, let's fix it. Wish it was that simple. I have taken some bad steps that have put me in some tough places, and I wish it was just a matter of apologizing, but it wasn't. I wish it was just a matter of restoring. I tell a story all the time about blowing someone else's $4,000. I paid them back, but it didn't change how people saw me at all. Time may or may not heal that in other people. There are other times in my own life where I thought I was going to marry someone and they ended up doing something completely different, and I just restored every dollar she spent for the most part, because I did not want to have that view of me. Didn't help. Because there are other souls involved. We're going to transition from Numbers 14 to Numbers 15, and I think you'll find out what sometimes happens. Now listen, let me say this, because we are living in what's called the dispensation of the grace and mercy of God, but so were they. If it was all about the law, then everyone would have been toast. In this case, only some were toast. Numbers chapter 14. Verse 36, and the men which Moses sent to search the land, who returned and made all the congregation to murmur against him by bringing up a slander upon the land, even those men that did bring up the evil report upon the land, died by the plague before the Lord. But Joshua, son of Nun, and Caleb, son of Jephunneh, I believe, of the men that went to search the land lived. And Moses told these sayings unto the children of Israel, and the people mourned greatly. And Moses told these sayings unto all the children of Israel, and the people mourned greatly. And verse 40, and they rose up early in the morning and got them up into the top of the mountain, saying, Lo, we and will go up unto the place which the Lord hath promised, for we have sinned. Well, it's a little late for that. you didn't sin, you transgressed. You didn't just sin, you transgressed. And that takes us all the way back, because they obviously forgot how this works as the children of Israel. And unfortunately, they have affected the lives of the congregation. Keep in mind, we're going from Genesis to Revelation. This is for my grandchildren, my brothers and sisters in Kenya, and whomever else this helps. God bless you. This is my personal Bible study, number one. And number two, I'm called to leadership. You have to have the right perspective, especially if you're a leader. You can get a little drunk with your authority, children of Israel. Not the congregation, the children of Israel. So I guess this is a good time to make sure that you understand the distinction between Moses, Aaron, and Miriam, and the children of Israel and the congregation. It's also important that you see that you play all of these parts in your life as leaders. All of them. God will give you a word for your leadership, and your leadership's job is to encourage the congregation. That's what leadership does. God will give Moses a word to give to his leadership, the children of Israel, and children of Israel's job is to encourage the congregation. These are principles to live by. If you want to know how leadership works, this is one of the absolute best books to read. There are plenty of books here in 2024 on leadership with Tony Robbins, Ray Dalio, whatever. I read a few of those too. A few, not all of them, but I read a few of those too. They get their information. The Zig Ziglars, the Jim Rohns, get their information from this book here. If we're going to truly lead other people's souls, we have to make sure that we're clear and that we don't lead them into a hole, like they led them into a hole. When the leadership begins to murmur and complain against the person that gives the word from God, you lose. You lose people. You don't lose the idea. You lose the souls attached to the idea. They began to die by plague. I guess it's important that you understand that your success and their success are tied together. Leadership is a massive burden. You do not want your people to die from plague. Today, that would mean from poverty. Losing things. Could be mental, physical, spiritual sickness as well. But certainly a loss. Because the children of Israel, the management team, murmured and complained against the visionary. In verse 41, Moses had to explain to them the timing, the place they were in. And he said, wherefore now do ye transgress the commandment of the Lord, but it shall not prosper. Too late. Verse 42, go not up, for the Lord not among you, that ye be not smitten before your enemies. For the Amalekites and the Canaanites there before you, and ye shall fall by the sword, because ye are turned away from the Lord, therefore the Lord will not be with you. What he's reminding them of, or what he's about to tell them, is that the Lord has already given them instructions, like we talked about in Numbers 14. I don't want to go back there, start searching. But he said to them, leave. You guys want to leave? Leave. Go back to the Red Sea. They should thank God they didn't go back to Egypt, which is what they were really asking for. Put together a team of people to go back to Egypt. He wouldn't let them go that far. He told them to go right back to the Red Sea. This is where the Lord is now, because he's going to give them instructions. And quite frankly, some people are going to die off. Because it's going to be another 40 years. Verse 44, but they presumed to go up unto the hilltop. Nevertheless, the ark of the covenant of the Lord and Moses departed not out of the camp. But these children of Israel decided that what they were going to do. Then the Amalekites came down, and the Canaanites which dwell in the hill, and smote them, and discomfited them unto Hormah. So even though Moses, the visionary, said, don't do this, it's not the right timing, they decided to do it anyway. Chapter 15, verse 1, and the Lord spake unto Moses. He didn't speak unto the children of Israel. Sometimes when I get involved with other people's projects, they'll ask me, how come you just don't do this or that or this? Because I'm not the visionary. If I'm the visionary, then I take another view. I have not been the visionary of a project in, well, that's not true, because I started the insurance company. I started the consulting business. So I have been a visionary. But the majority of my works as a consultant has been helping other people with their visions. And so I will give them the information and they would make the decision on what to do. In a lot of cases, after I've given them the information and they make the decision on what to do, they do it the way they want to do it, or they don't do it at all. And then I have actually heard from those people who they do it in a half-hearted way. In other words, the minute they get some resistance, they call it a failure, not understanding that every successful venture takes resistance. Simple as that is to me, it's not simple to a lot of people. I think it's being demonstrated here. Or they wouldn't do it at all. And then afterwards they will tell me, I have been told that my plan didn't work. Or I've been told that I don't have credibility because of my lack of resources. It seems to be a time-tested attitude towards people. Because I'm not going to say that's the exact reason why Moses was treated with disdain here, treated badly here. But I do find it interesting that they presumed to go up unto the hilltop, nevertheless, the ark of the covenant of the Lord, and Moses departed not out of the camp. In other words, they left God behind, they left Moses behind. They left the visionary behind, they left God behind, and they decided to do what they wanted to do. And then they got hit. Chapter 15, verse 2. Speak unto the children of Israel, God speaking to Moses, and say unto them, when you be come into the land of your habitations, which I give unto you, and will make an offering by fire unto the Lord, a burnt offering, or a sacrifice in performing a vow, or in a freewill offering, or in your solemn feast, to make a sweet savor unto the Lord of the herd or of the flock. Then shall he that offer his offering unto the Lord bring a meat offering of a 10th deal of flour mingled with the 4th of a hin of oil, and the 4th of a hin of wine for a drink offering shalt thou prepare with the burnt offering or sacrifice for one lamb. Or for a ram thou shalt prepare a meat offering 2/10 deals flour mingled with the 3rd of a hin of oil. For a drink offering thou shalt offer the 3rd of a hin of wine, a sweet savor unto the Lord. And when thou preparest a bullock, a burnt offering, or a sacrifice in performing a vow, or peace offerings unto the Lord, then shall he bring with a bullock a meat offering of 3/10 deal of flour mingled with half of hin of oil, and thou shalt bring for a drink offering half a hin of oil, of wine, an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto the Lord. Thus shall it be done for one bullock, or for one ram, or for one lamb, or a kid. If you remember, we did all this in Leviticus. He taught them all this. Leviticus chapter 1, the Lord called unto Moses and spoke unto him out of the tabernacle of the congregation, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, if any man of you bring an offering unto the Lord, ye shall bring an offering of cattle of the herd and of the flock. If his offering a burnt sacrifice of the herd, let him offer a male without blemish, ye shall offer it of his own voluntary will. I'm not going to bore you with that, because if you haven't listened to it, number one, you don't understand a word I just said, because we explained the whole thing all the way up to this point. And number two is, the point is, they had to start all over again, because they didn't do it God's way. They didn't make, so the very thing that they were demonstrating, people, please hear me on this. The very thing that they were demonstrating was a rejection of God, a rejection of the leadership, and in turn, self-destruction. The burnt offering is a dedication. It shows that, and the meat offering, by the way, is something that's given in service to the priest. The burnt offering is a sweet savor, but you're bringing enough, because it's all about unity. Doing things with one motion. God says it, the visionary explains it, children of Israel, the leadership believes it, and they bring the congregation with them. One swipe. And as you can see, they thought that they could leave without God and Moses. And say, oops, my bad, we sinned, let's go. Well, you missed the point. And Moses said to him, no, you missed the point. And they decided to go anyway. Listen, I'm really hoping you get this. I'm going to leave it as a legacy product anyway. But I'm really hoping you get this. Get the right team. Don't be so quick to be the guy, because in most cases, we are not the guy. Have respect for your leadership. Have respect for God. Even if you lead a tribe and the tribe looks to you, there's still someone above you. And if not, you're out of order anyway. You could be the owner of the business, of the ministry, but there still needs to be someone above you anyway. Someone that you're taking orders from. In all cases. It may be a humble position, but to me the best position is when you're part of a team. And you can do your part to move a team forward, knowing that the visionary hears from God. Or if you're the visionary, that person above you is God. So you better be leading the people according to his principles, because you'll be held responsible for that. CashApp $MrPaulDozier. CashApp $MrPaulDozier. We're on a journey from Genesis to Revelation. I do not know how long it's going to take to get there. Hope it doesn't take 40 years. But in truth, I'm really hoping to finish off the Torah here by June. That's my goal. And we still have so much to go through. If this is helpful to you, please like, share it on whatever platform you're hearing it on. If it's a blessing to you, it will be a blessing to someone else. And thank you, and God bless you for taking this journey with us.